now.
There's Mike.
Be comfortable.
All right, you are live.
All right, thank you, Dwayne. As always, appreciate everyone being here. This meeting today is primarily on our budgets. And so we'll start by asking everyone just put your cell phones on silent. I appreciate it, and we'll start off by a word of prayer. So if we all stand, please. Father, Lord, thank you for the day, Lord. Thank you for giving us the time to come here, Lord, to do the county's budget. And Father, we just pray for our nation, Lord. Give decisions, Lord, to our leaders that is be pleasing to you, Lord, that would be good for our nation. But Father, we just thank you for who you are and what you do in our lives, Lord. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Will?
Yes, sir. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag
of
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Who said Carl wasn't coming?
Right on time.
Gerald said that.
No, I said Carl was going to be a little late. It was already 9. Okay, it's budget time, and that's what we were working on today. So, Greg, let's see what the agenda we have. Greg, you want to go ahead and start it, or we'll just go down our list that was, as you have handed out? So
Yes, sir. There is a schedule in front of you as well as copies of the department and elected official requests. And I believe before that, we may have an engineering proposal to consider for Stokes Road, correct?
I don't know, Tim, come up, and you're the first one, so.
All right. Yeah, first item we have is the engineering proposal for the Highway 22 Livingston Vernon Cedar Hill Road intersection that was based on the study that Kaiser Engineering and Traffic did. This engineering proposal is from McMaster's and Associates. It's for a fee of $37,500 to do both of the intersections as well as coordinate everything with MDOT and get us up through the bidding services phase of the project.
Okay. Do I have a motion for approval?
Move.
Got a motion, Supervisor Banks. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Supervisor Baxter. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Okay.
Y'all went through the committee with that proposal?
No, this was a just a general selection of an engineering firm to do this project.
Okay.
There was no, this was actually, we picked a firm that did not submit on the overall large group of large group of projects.
Okay.
So we're trying to, if you spread the wealth, if you will.
All right, Tim, I think you're up first as well on the,
Okay.
on your budget.
All right, which one would you like to go first? 150 or 160?
150. It's
150?
in the order on that big sheet.
Oh, okay, all right, we'll go through this sheet then. All right, 150 is pretty well the same as it was last year. The only major change we have is in vehicles. We are requesting a vehicle for one of our inspectors. Shelton Marbury has a 2014 vehicle with 200,000 miles on it. It's in not the best shape, so we're requesting a new vehicle for him. That's the only major change from previous years.
Okay.
So it's, other than that change, we're at the same budget we were last year.
All right, any questions for Tim on the 150 on the road maintenance engineering? If not, we'll go to the next one, which is the 160.
160, we're about $40,000 above what we were last year. We did request an additional $100,000 in contractual bridge repairs, which is $525. we requested an additional $200,000 in drainage improvements, which is line 586. We requested an additional $50,000 in line item 634, which is culvert. And those were offset in some deductions in other contractual services, which is 581. So our net was an increase in $50,000.
Tim, and I'm sure you have it in here, as far as dollars for sinkhole repair. Is it on this one, or is it on?
It is. That's 586, which is the drainage improvements. That's the one that we requested an additional 200,000.
Okay,
And just as a reason for that, we requested 600,000 this year, and we're already out of money
right.
at this point, and we've got 2 months left in the budget year, and we're done with that line item. We can't do any more until next year.
And so you've asked for 200,000 increase?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, it's needed.
Yes, sir.
All right, questions for Tim? If not, we'll move to the next one, Tim, on the road maintenance.
That's it. Next
That's-
week
that's
for
all
you,
I've got.
sir.
Oh, I do ask, one thing I wanted to bring up, which is back under 150, actually. I'm losing my assistant engineer. He has turned in his 2 weeks' notice, and that is partly for two reasons. One, he's wanting to get some experience in the private sector, and two, the private sector is offering a lot more financial opportunities than we are in the public sector. And so it's going to be a little bit difficult for me to hire a new engineer at the same salary rate that we are currently paying. So I just wanted to bring that up, that in the coming months, that we're going to be looking for a new assistant county engineer, and there may need to be some wiggle room in the current salary for a new engineer.
Do you have that number in these? Do you have that number in this info?
Do not. What is in front of you is the existing engineer's salary, but there is enough room in that fund that if we need to add money, we certainly can.
Okay,
We
because-
discussed it, but I think that had been already set by the time we found out the whole situation of him
Right.
leaving.
I would suggest for y'all to discuss and get back with the board on a number that y'all feel comfortable with, Tim, because we have many of these projects that's gonna start, and now it's not a good time to be
No, it's not a
down
good,
with a,
you're right, it's not a good
engineer.
time to be down
So-
an engineer.
I would suggest, to come back with the board with something, maybe, Monday, what your thinking is.
Okay. He's making 81, I believe, rating, somewhere in that range. Which just to give you a range, MDOT is paying, just their basic engineer at his same level, 90, and that's MDOT. So, the private sector is more like 95-ish at his range, and he's only had a PE for a couple of years. So, it goes up from there. As if you want somebody with more experience, then it costs more for that level.
Well, that's where, again, think about it and let's come back to the board with, with your thoughts as far as a dollar amount of
Right.
what's out there and what you know that's out there, or you think you can bring someone on board with, and just let us know.
Okay. There's a lot of factors that go into that. You got to have 8 years to be vested in the system. So without bringing somebody out from another place that's in the system, you've got to really make it a decent salary for them to want to come from the private sector in, to realize that they got to be here 8 years for them to see the advantage of being in the state system.
Yeah. Well, it's a very critical time for us, for the next 5 to 8 years,
Absolutely.
with these projects that we're gonna have going on, so.
Yep. Understood.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. my two off the top of here.
All right, who's next?
Oh. TMB Roadman.
Road. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
Got Cornelius?
Yeah.
Correct.
Start off with the Bridge and Covered Road Department, 160, 300.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Sir, I believe there may be some confusion. Road stuff's gonna start on page 4 of that book in front of you. That'll be 150, 300.
50, okay. Okay,
Page
Cornelius?
4 of that big book in front
Four.
of you there, Cornelius.
yeah, page 4.
Okay, I'm on 4. Yeah, I'm on 4. Okay. Well, what I got on my agenda with y'all is that, first of all, I'm gonna go this way, then we gonna walk it down. I wanna let y'all know, I done lost 4 truck drivers within the last 2 weeks. They even going to the, just like Tim said, going to, they were at Amazon working, and I lost 4. And I heard this morning, I got one of my operators, he leaving, going to, so
I hope it ain't motor grade operator.
no, not yet. But that's what I got going on right now. And plus, I want to let you know, I got 5 tractor down in the shop. So people calling my grass, they in the shop.
Today here, we're talking about the budget. That's what we want to hear from Cornelius today.
I guess he's psyching us up. He finna
I know, that's,
Okay. Well, all I got on my budget plan is that on equipment, I need a backhoe. I got a backhoe on there, and I got a mulcher on it. But for everything else with my road plan budget, everything look good for what we asked for. Hoping that y'all approve for, cause everything flip-flopping on us on where we getting it, how we getting it, and where we getting it from. So,
Right.
thing else, we need, our budget, what we asked for is gonna put us where we need to be at for this upcoming year, hopefully, cause everything price-wise going up and down. But other words, so I'm all right with what I asked for. I'm just hoping y'all approve that, and that basically be what I need.
all right. Explain the mulcher deal to us a little bit.
The mulcher is.
What are you gonna be, well, not what it is. Is that a replacement, or is this a new piece of
A
equipment?
new piece of equipment.
All right, give us some information on.
Okay, the
what you
mulcher
plan on
gonna
doing.
be, I'm gonna give you an example. We got this trimmer, gonna trim all the limb down. So when we out on the rural area road, wide road, to take that mulcher, still us hauling it, all the limbs off, we can mulch it up rest side the road and let it stay there. And that's all out in the rural area, not in neighborhood, nobody yard, or front yard, but it's all through the rural area. We just can mulch up, that's less hauling we have to do and less time we'll be waste, try to get the limbs off the road.
Okay,
Where do the limbs currently go? So,
Land and field,
so this would keep just leaves and sticks and stuff out of the land.
what it's gonna do, it's gonna save us a lot of time, and we ain't got enough trucks to run asphalt and everything.
Does the county own the landfill, or do we have to pay
no.
to dump?
We have to pay.
So we go in, they weigh the truck when it goes in, weigh it when it comes out, and say you owe us this based on the tonnage.
That's how they do.
Okay.
So if I can delimit, cut it all up out on the road, I ain't gotta spend no money in fuel hauling, labor going, and time. We can do
Just
all
mulching
that.
it and blowing it back into the
Mulch up
woods.
and keep going.
Okay.
All I have to do, have my broom out there and sweep it off the streets.
Cornelius, is the new limb pickup equipment and manpower, is that coming under Greg or you?
That'll be coming out of solid waste, which is a separate fund, so it'll not be Cornelius, it'll be, well, obviously we'll be working in conjunction with Cornelius, but whether we contract that out or do it in-house, that'll be a different fund.
All right, are you giving truck drivers a raise in your budget, or are you just going?
That's my next thing. I'm hoping that y'all, I'm trying to get them up to at least $17 by truck driver per hour, because everybody, well, with people leaving for like $18, $20.
right.
But they going to the, Amazon, like I said, I had 4 leaving in the last 2 weeks gone. And so, it's hurting me on trucks, cause I got trucks sitting on the yard. I'm hiring people, but for some reason, they'll get here and stay a while.
What,
There you go.
how much you pay your truck driver right now?
We starting off $15,
What you start your labor off with?
late $15.
Yeah, don't make sense. The labor make the same thing a truck driver.
Need to do the same thing as we mentioned to Tim. You know, it sounds like you've already thought about what you need and is within your budget to be able to maintain or to hire people.
Yes, sir.
And so that's good.
Now, I got one thing else I got on there, request for, if y'all let me, hire 3 more employees.
At $15 an hour, they be labor or what?
Well, I want them to be an operator, cause they all gonna be with the, operating crew. So basically what I'm doing is that, they all gonna be part of out there with the new trimmer we got. Gonna be operating for the trimmer, you're gonna have operating for the mulcher. So all the 3 guys that I'm gonna have out there with the machine, I want them to be operator. Cause if one out, the machine don't have to sit down, it keep rolling.
And that trimmer you're talking about is in this budget as well.
It's in this year's budget.
It's
yes,
in
sir.
this year budget.
And I'm just saying that, you know, let the public know that this is something new that we are putting on,
Yes, sir.
or that you're asking us to do, is to put on a new crew to go and be able to trim limbs off side the road and be able to mulch them there on the spot.
So
That's
this is a new service that the county's providing?
Yes, sir.
It
It's a
is.
new one.
Who did it before, or was it just not done?
It hadn't been done in 25 years.
It ain't been done 31 of my years.
Okay,
Right.
Haven't been done.
so
40 years.
this is a new service that the county's providing where our tax dollars are benefiting our citizens.
I'm gonna give you a little rundown.
Getting trees and branches off, less calls from the power outages because we're taking care of limbs.
Well, they're
right?
gonna do their part, but this way it's gonna help us. A lot of our main roads you go down, school bus hitting the limbs.
Yeah.
Right.
And all the limbs, they're shading our road. And this another thing, when you got a limb shading your road like that, that's why your road so easy to tear up there, cause there ain't no sunlight hitting. So we kinda opened up, get sunlight, and plus, so the bus won't call them by limb hitting, cause you know, down your ditch, I had to do the same thing, cause the campers, people talking about limb hitting inside their camper, we had to trim the
Right.
road. So we got something that we can do the whole county with.
Good deal. And this is something also we could do for power line maintenance, so
Mm-hmm.
that we don't have to rely on energy to come and clean it off or not.
They gonna do theirs
They have to
anyway.
do that?
They gonna do theirs anyway.
All right.
Well, next time you ride down the country on a county road, state aid road, really, just pay attention to the overlap. And if you cut it, if they go in there and cut it right where the ditch is in, you gonna get limbs that big falling in the road and the ditch.
Oh, it's very much needed. This is
Yeah, I
a
agree.
improvement that's, should have been done several years ago.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so, okay.
I can keep them busy in District 5 for 5 years without leaving out.
Yeah, I'm glad this is a county-wide deal, though. So, okay, Cornelius.
So that basic, all I got is on the backhoe. We need a backhoe because when we go do road shouldering, we don't have anything to pick up. The backhoe we have, we done spent estimate of dollars on it, and they still ain't got it fixed. And we done had it several years.
Right.
And so we need something that we can be able to do the road show to save our road too.
Okay. Are there questions on that?
How's your the lay-down machine for asphalt? Is it operating yet?
Well, Mr. Bank, it's operating, but it's like a soul thumb. It run by 2 hours and shut down. Let it cool out, run back by 2 hours, we just got it out the shop.
Anything running over there? You got 4 trucks and a paver down, and what else?
I got truck driver down, I got 5 tractors in the shop. So everything just falling.
How old your lay down machine? What year you think it
About
is?
3 years.
It's 3 years, that's
About
right.
3 years old.
It's a pretty much a new one.
Is it on the 3 year and we swap it out type?
That's what we need to do all of this stuff.
I didn't do that.
That's what we need to go with all of this stuff. Why it's on the warranty, get rid of it. It won't cost so that much. we got high maintenance bill on all this stuff, 'cause every time that tractor go to the shop, we looking at $5, $6, $7,000 now. $5, $6, $7,000 now. So if we can get back on that every 2 years deal, that's the best thing to do, 'cause everything be on the warranty, won't have nothing but tires and a battery deal.
Something to think about, Greg.
New trucks are heading that way. The trimmer will not, but the new trucks are gonna be lease purchased with a 3-year buyback. I suspect the tractors you're asking for this year will probably have the same, features, call it. So that is a route we are heading down. I was not here when the paver was purchased 3 years ago, but I do believe there is some merit to ensuring that our heavy equipment purchases include a buyback. Yes, sir.
Speaking of tractor, how many tractors you asking for?
Same man, a 10.
10?
What
I
kind?
have 8 with the 15 footer and 2 with the side brush mower.
You getting new tractors?
Deal,
What kind?
John Deere.
We're gonna bid them out.
Yeah, yeah.
They may not be John Deere, they have to be bid.
John Deere on state
State
contract.
contract, okay, then they will be, just didn't want that, yeah, that would be John Deere then.
But you still could bid them out if you choose to.
Could, yes, sir, if they're on state contract, it's not required though.
No, I agree, but I mean, you still could bid them out and see, but
You might be able to do better than the state contract.
that's right. All right, Cornelius,
Vendors know what the state contract.
that's right.
Right, thank you.
Let me ask Tim something. Is Tim gone?
Yeah, Tim, I don't know, he may be here. I know he has a meeting at 10, he said.
Tim, in your budget, are you getting the equipment that you need for your people to operate down there?
The equipment with
Backhoe, track hoe, whatever.
the track hoe we got, where'd Greg go? We ordered the track hoe this year.
We got a track hoe coming for the engineer department now.
Yes. And we ordered it, I think like 3 meetings ago, and I believe Greg's got the funding mechanism for all the equipment on Monday's board meeting. So we'll actually be able to get it after Monday, is the way I understand.
All right, good.
Okay.
Tim, is Lawrence under you?
Yes, sir.
He got a Traco?
That's the one we're talking about.
Oh.
He's got one, but it's about to fall apart, so we've got a new one ordered. I think literally it fell apart yesterday.
What's
We've
he
got
doing?
one rented right now.
Is he cleaning ditches or what?
Right, he's cleaning ditches.
All right,
The track hoe is coming.
Yes, it's part of the lease purchase with the trucks and trailers. Trailer bid is happening at some point in the next week or so. May even be this week. And then we will get the financing quotes that are required by statute, and I will bring that to y'all as soon as I possibly can.
okay, good.
What is
Things
it?
are moving though. Okay, thank you, Tim.
Yes, sir.
Next, we have Albert. Emergency Management.
Good morning, board. Good
Morning, Albert.
I'm here this morning to, I guess, first start with the emergency management budget, asking you all to acknowledge it and approve it, and whatever question that y'all may have or concerns, I can answer.
Albert, main thing that I see here just is item 554. 25,000 on consultant fees.
Yes, sir.
That you didn't have last year.
Yes, sir. So that was to put in place, so with the GIS department, since that's new in my department, if we have to have another class or any kind of updates with the GIS, and I really don't know the price, but I wanted to make sure I cover it. So if it's more, I ask, but it shouldn't be more than that. Because I did reach out to them to ask them about any kind of reoccurring classes that may be possible, and they did say it wouldn't exceed over that.
25,000?
It wouldn't exceed over 25,000.
A class?
For where we are. So with the new improvement that we went through last year, well, this year here, and the other upcoming phase,
Right.
it shouldn't be nowhere close to 25,000. And if it is, I ain't gonna say not worry about it. I'll just come back to you all at the next fiscal budget year, and we'll just, work from there, because we still in the process of completing phase 1 and phase 2. So if we need to add something else, I'll let it roll over to the following year, to keep from crowding everything, since the person is new and everything, so to make sure they get the information in the stick.
Okay. Other questions for Albert? All right. Thank you, Albert.
All right. And my next one is the 911 budget.
Yeah, communication.
Yes, sir. So I didn't have too many changes in that. Kind of don't know what to expect, but try to make sure we in line. So if anybody have any wants or needs, we can make sure we take care of it if y'all see fit for it.
See, the budget went from 800,000 to 1.4. Is that what I'm seeing, Albert?
Yes, sir.
And that is primarily grants.
Pretty much, and the price of everything dealing with the radio system, since everything is just going up with it.
Okay.
I just tried to cover it as much as I could, as far as talking to the vendors that's actually selling the products.
Okay. Questions for Albert? Thank you, Albert.
Okay.
All right.
IT, Dwayne?
Morning.
Good morning.
Mine's gonna be pretty plain and simple. If you walk down through this list that's before y'all, you notice that the deputy staff number went up. I'm putting money in the budget this year to hire another IT person. I got the same staff I had 19 years ago, and we have added and added and added technology and haven't added a single person to help support it. Main reason is Robert and Ed and I have some bigger projects we need to be working on, security and all that kind of stuff, and we get in the middle of working on something, you get a call and gotta go fix a printer, gotta go fix a desktop, gotta go fix a scanner. I wanna bring a guy in here or girl, either one, that's familiar with desktops and printers and that type stuff, so that we can start training them to support stuff. And I hadn't added a single person since I got here. I hired 2 people right after I got here, and one of my people's already retired. Vernita works part-time now, and this person can also help with that help desk.
Right.
Coming on down, let me see where I'm at. Get down to maintenance contracts. Last year I asked for 187, it's at 201. We're adding things like multi-factor VPN connectivity, security, and those kind of things, and you got to pay for it. It's just a fact of life. Come on down to other contractual services, and I'll talk a little bit more. I'll talk about these together. But when you get down to my hardware, you're going to notice it went up a good bit. We've got to start replacing PCs this next year.
Right.
Windows 10 goes away sometime in 2025, and we don't get security updates for it, so we got to get them replaced. I've budgeted for like 200 desktops and about 25 laptops. I've asked the departments to budget for their own laptops, but I know some of them are not going to, and I want to have some money in here to buy the ones that we have to buy. I don't want those old Windows 10 machines on the network. It just leaves a hole. Right. And I added some money to the other contractual stuff to like we did last time we did this. We brought a contract desktop person in here to help do the initial setup and swaps on those PCs, because just because we're replacing 200 PCs doesn't mean that the day-to-day issues go away. We got to take care of that.
Right.
And that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I was telling Greg, most of what IT budgets for is not necessarily for the IT department. It's to support the infrastructure for the rest of the county. And we try to do a good job at doing that. And I've got a real good staff, and that's it, unless y'all have some questions.
Now, we all know that things have increased
Right. It's just like anything else, you know, software and hardware and support and all that stuff goes up every year. And,
Right.
and,
We know that.
We got to do what we need to. Real quick, I'll tell you that CrowdStrike issue that happened, we're very fortunate in Madison County. We don't run CrowdStrike, we run Silence. And I've had a CrowdStrike salesperson was bugging me before this happened. I hadn't gotten a single phone call from him since that happened, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, thanks.
Thank you, Dwayne.
Thank you, Dwayne.
All right, Justice Court. Let's put that aside as the fire here. All right, come on, we'll come back to Justice Court, so if you would, just put that one aside.
Good morning, Supervisors.
Morning.
Morning.
I think this is my first budget hearing where all 5 supervisors have actually been present.
Good.
So,
We're glad you showed up this morning.
yes, even though I wasn't on the list originally,
That's okay, you're on the list now.
yes, I'm on the list. And let's see, which one do you want to, hold on, let me go through this
Get
sheet.
a $250,000.
Quarter mil? Okay.
That's the only one I see that we have, is it not?
Yeah, page 13.
Yeah, that's the only one that we have.
Okay.
13,
Well,
14.
let me see, 13.
13, yes, sir.
Okay, it's the same as this. Really, it's not that much change on some. I just went up on a few of them for, because of the price of everything's gone up. Towards the biggest expense I have on it is 919. And let me pull my sheet up. Okay, one of the things on it is I requested.
Are you
a-
explaining 919?
Yes, sir. Is that, you want to just go straight to that one, since that's the big line item? With Amazon coming in, each building on its site's going to have, once they get it completed and all the generators and then working, each building's going to have 147,000 gallons of diesel on that site. And when you when you multiply that times the 5 buildings they're going to have this first phase, it'd be 735,000 gallons of diesel. And when you go to the 12 buildings, once they finish it out, you're going to be looking at 1,764,000 gallons of diesel on site. And that's not counting all the batteries they're going to have in every building for the backup generators for their computers. And we also have Nissan is fixing to start production on their EV vehicles where they'll be making batteries over at the Canton plant too. So, and let me give you these.
What's the 250 for?
I have it broken down. This is one type of the vehicle.
Is that a used one?
It's going to be a used one, yes.
Yeah.
Amazon, we're talking to Joey Deason. Amazon wants to help purchase something like this. And this is just an idea of the kind that's available. This one's actually available, and it was like $100,000. And most of these vehicles, they sit in a station, and they're not used that much. They get more training out of them use than actual use. A new vehicle like that would be over $1 million if you bought it brand new. I put down $150,000. Joey Deason just told me to go ahead and put it in my budget, but they'll figure it out with Amazon how we're going to get it. So, but
And what makes this vehicle special is it, I assume that boom arm puts out some kind of,
it'll be foam.
yeah, I was
Right.
gonna say some kind of suppressant that works better on diesel than, say, water that's just going to.
That's right. They usually carry around 2,000 gallons of water and like 200 gallons of foam. There are some new products out I'm looking at right now, to replace foam, but it's still new in the making, and we're looking at it. And it will still be used in a vehicle like this for the amount we're looking at. And also on this truck like this, you can connect a hose to it. You can pull up to the building if we had a battery fire inside, and we can foam it out inside too to put the fire out. But that's what 150 is for. And the second one is the getting equipment for the heavy rescue truck which we bought, which I'm going to bring to the next board meeting Monday and have it parked outside where y'all can look at it. The good deal we got on that buying it used. It's, like I said, when you see it, you won't believe it's 22 years old, and it only has 18,000 miles on it. Right. And to buy another truck like that, which we paid $125,000, to get a new truck for that one would be like $750,000 to $1 million. And we're getting it for a fraction of that. But when we bought it, they took most of the equipment out of it. So we do have to stock it. And I've purchased this year what my budget would allow me, some equipment to go on it. But we still need some different equipment on there for anything that can happen, like a tornado coming through. And there's also a lot of construction going on. We have thousands of construction workers at Amazon area working, where we could have any kind of incident where we have to do some heavy type rescuing on it.
Okay. Are there other questions? Fire.
Oh, and I would like to also, I didn't see it on there because I don't get the salary part, to make sure I can keep what I had for a deputy fire coordinator, because with everything going real fast, I do need some help out there. Because I'm doing, a lot of moving around in a lot of different directions now by myself.
Okay. Other questions? Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you, man.
Okay. Greg, we didn't have mosquito control on this?
No, there wasn't anything.
Change it, okay, yeah.
In mosquitoes.
Okay.
That's
Yeah, all that's going to be about the same.
identical.
Need backup for Justice Court. Yeah, we've already bypassed you one time. So
We just take all justice
Fine,
court
now.
out, people out.
No, good morning,
Don't
everybody. How's everybody today?
Good morning.
Y'all can't make it without Justice Court now. We are valuable.
There you go.
Okay, looking at Justice Court's budget, it didn't really change a whole lot here. We're working and progressing along, pretty well. We are getting ready to get our new system in, our computer system, Delta. We're getting some kinks out of it right now. As we go through our training, we are finding a little kinks here and there, but
Right.
it's coming along pretty well. And we're also going to be implementing another program where on old fines, misdemeanor fines, we're going to try to collect those, send out letters, and if that doesn't work, we're going to, let them know that we can, will affect their income tax money. So we're hoping that with that, we don't have to do it. Once the letter goes out, we're hoping that they'll come on in and make their payments.
How do y'all implement that second part over there? Suppose a person do not pay their fine, and you want to get it, put a garnishment on their income tax. How do you go about getting that? You send it to Mike, or you send it to Loretta? How does that implement?
That will go directly to the Department of Revenue. through MAS's subsidiary.
We will send something to.
Correct. Yes, sir. We will compile all of the information they require, name, social, I think address at the time that they got a list. We will compile the information on that list and forward it to the Department of Revenue through Debt Offset Service, I think is what MASSET is called, or Mississippi Association of Supervisors is calling their collection agency. So it's their program, Mississippi Association of Supervisors, but it runs through the Department of Revenue. So there's no real involvement other than a county employee compiling everything and shipping it off to them.
Okay.
And we actually do not lose any monies at all once they collect.
Correct.
Because they'll collect 100% of what we send over there, and we'll get back 100%. If they collect 100%, we will get back the 100% that we sent over there.
Correct.
They'll just add on for their fees.
They will receive 25%, which will be withheld on top of the county's 100% of the amount owed. There's a state constitutional section, I believe it's 100, that says you can't forgive a debt rightfully owed to a city or county or the state.
Right.
And so we have to get 100% of what is owed.
Right.
But by law, can't do it any other way.
Right.
How much do these fees range typically? Are they like $50, $200, or is it?
Ain't no $50 fee.
No, it could be anywhere, I would say maybe 1,000 to maybe a little bit, some over 1,000.
Okay.
You think about, depending on how many charges they, had at that time, anywhere, no more than, I would say, 2,000 to maybe
Okay.
$100.
So we're talking about not insignificant amounts of money. Okay.
Correct.
But we have an outstanding dollar amount, though.
Yes.
What is that?
Half million. The outstanding dollar amount, going back to the advent of the current information system down there, is
Right.
about $2.5 million. We will not recover $2.5 million. Let me make that very, very clear up front.
Right.
No one here should expect to recover $2.5 million, but we will recover what I believe to be a significant amount of money. And as far as the amounts go, that program requires the debt to be at least $50 or more. So if somebody owes us $20, there's not a whole lot we can do.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, are there other questions? If not, thank you.
All right, thank you all so much. Have a good day.
All right. Who do we have next on the list?
Buildings and grounds.
Buildings and grounds. All right, Drew,
Morning, Board.
morning.
I am not adding any employees this year. And on vehicles, I am proposing to replace two that are over 100,000 miles. It'd be Mr. Bacon's and Mr. Robinson's. I think it's a 2014 and a 2018, both well over $100,000 miles.
Drew, we discussed about our landscaping upkeep. You have monies
Yes, sir,
in
that
this
was
budget.
factored in.
Okay, thank you.
What about, it might fall under you, Greg, a mailman vehicle? The one I'm seeing in me, it looks pretty shabby. We are Madison County, we need to have a little image.
Been replaced. He's currently in a brand-new vehicle. That's, I replaced two this year. The mailman vehicle was one of the vehicles I replaced.
Okay, well, great.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
glad to see you saw what I saw.
Yes, sir.
All right.
It was a travesty to let that 2004 Crown Vic go, though.
It is still in the parking lot, and we still have the keys.
All right.
And Tim, this is, I mean, Drew, I guess I see this is under your budget as well, at the very bottom, the projects budgeted
Yes, sir.
elsewhere. And I see three of them there, and I guess one of them is definitely come from the ARPA money, the circuit court renovation. We have that under control as well, do we not, Drew?
We do, yes, sir. That'll be part of the bond deal.
Yeah, and the South Madison County tax building as well. Okay, it'll be on there. All right. Any other questions for Drew? Thank you, Drew. Election Commission. Election Commission. Come on up here, Miss Helen. I thought Pat's one had the foot
She had to
surgery.
have she did, and I did too. I had it first. She had emergency
Yeah.
foot surgery.
Okay. Good deal. Good morning.
Good morning. How are y'all?
We're doing okay. Anything's changed on y'all's budget?
The only thing that I can see that went up, and I was gonna ask Greg about the 19,000 on 581. Does that include our color copier? See the, oh, that's ballots, I'm sorry. That's office supply, 603.
603 will not include a copier. That would be generally under maintenance contracts,
Oh, okay, okay.
which is 544.
Got it, okay. So did you include that, do you know?
I believe there's enough room in the fund to, or in that line item to do it with its current amount. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. The only thing that went up is the conducting elections, because as you know, we have a big election coming up November the 5th, so that amount did go up. Also, the other thing was our legal fees, which is $550. And we understand, everybody kind of knows about Spence and what he's working on at this present time. So that's about, everything else seems to have gone down. Next year, 2025 is going to be kind of a lean year. As far as I know, we won't have any elections. So the only thing, I think also the travel reimbursement, we raised that a little bit because we do go on 2 trips next year. We have the ECAM that comes in January, and then the election center has their general meeting or conference, and we try to go to that. So that's 2 meetings next year. And as you know, plane tickets and expenses have gone up, so we kind of increased that a little bit. But besides that, that's about it.
Y'all do have in your budget somewhere as far as rental of the trucks to have the voting machines delivered to the precincts?
I think that is, let's see, where would that be, Greg?
Generally, 581,
580.
the other contractual services
Okay.
is generally
Okay.
where that would be.
But y'all have,
We already have it done, and y'all have already approved it, the amount.
got it? We approved the amount for November,
Yes, you did.
but you'll have some elections next year as well.
We may not have any elections,
In the primary?
primary.
Well, we may not as a county.
Cities.
Yeah.
You're right, it's
Yeah.
the city's election next year.
Yeah.
You're right.
So, don't have any. They're gonna be pretty good next year,
Good.
okay?
All right, good deal.
Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Helen. All right, District Attorney?
I don't see them.
All right, let's put that one aside, and we'll come back to that one. Tax Assessor?
For a quick break, sir. I
Moving right
don't
along.
believe there's anybody else here.
Is anyone else here that,
I don't believe so. Give me just a second.
Chancery Clerk? Who's doing it? Let's go to Chancery Clerk then.
Jeffrey Court.
Chancery Clerk.
Jeffrey. I see circuit.
Yeah, it's on closer, 4 or 5 pages down, so, all righty. Gina?
3 and 24 will be Chancery Clerk and Chancery Court.
Good morning.
morning.
I'm here representing Ronnie this morning. We don't really have any significant changes this year. Looks like maybe a little rearranging, but as a whole, no changes.
Chancery.
Did I see your budget going down a little?
It did, looks like.
Yeah, okay. Are there questions for Gina? No, that's what I was
Ours
saying.
was an easy one.
We took some of Ronnie's salary out of there.
That's a good thing. Okay. CJ, come on in. I think we'll back up. Yes, sir. Of course, just for the public's information, we have already met, with the administrator and gone over these budgets. And so,
Mine's a little more detailed, because I wanted y'all to see a comparison from last year and know
Thank you.
where the increases and decreases are coming from.
Sound good.
At the top, you'll see the personnel side of it, which Greg mostly provides those figures. And there is an increase there. Like I said, I don't have much input on that. And then you go down and you'll see contractual services, consumable supplies, capital outlay, all of those expenses, the ones that I do control. And at the bottom, you'll see I've got an over $100,000 decrease in my budget for those items.
Wait a minute now. Is that on the form you just gave?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's the same figures as Greg sent previously. I just put it there so you can see that it's a decrease. He didn't put that on there. I thought that was important for y'all to see. But other than that, if you have any questions on, and another thing I'd like to point out, so I'm a glutton for punishment. So I took a deep dive into these, and previously, and this is probably from input from the previous administration, but a lot of things were just put into other contractual services. Well, they could be allocated to the proper line item, and I've tried to do that so it's more organized and we can track it going forward. You can see where things are coming from. So that's why you see contractual services went down $170,000. Well, that's because I put it in the correct spot on the spreadsheet.
I know last year we did not, actually from this department, tax collector, we did not receive a budget.
Correct.
We
Me and
asked
Greg discussed it,
asked
but Greg basically did it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yes, sir.
You're exactly right.
Yes,
So,
sir.
At that point, the elected official that was over it didn't even send in a budget.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, let me make sure I'm understanding what you're saying.
Yes, sir.
The budget that you proposing today is $104,000 cheaper than last year budget that you done, Greg.
Well, not overall. So there's
Overall.
so there's the wages and retirement and workers' comp and all those things at the top. There is an increase. Like I said, I don't have any control over that. Greg provides those numbers.
Okay,
But the things that I do control, the expenses and whatnot, there is a decrease.
okay.
Supervisor Griffin, you do also have a request from Mr. Garavelli in the form of a spreadsheet, a personnel spreadsheet that was sitting next to your.
Okay, I didn't know if you were going to provide that or not.
Yeah, we did.
Looks like this.
Yeah, it's it.
And that has so I do have some additional positions. As you know, we're moving across the street. We're gaining some space over there. Thank you for that, by the way. So we'll need a few more clerks. Also, we're gaining a mail room, which is very important. Right now, we're passing mail out in the office, and so I'd like to have a mail specialist, somebody that does that day to day, as well as you'll see I got another vehicle in here, $30,000 for a small vehicle. I'd like to, at this point, my Madison office, they're taking the deposit to the bank daily in their personal car, and I don't really think that's appropriate. I think they should probably do that in a county vehicle, and we can also do some courier stuff between offices, and so that's why that's there, and that's that position. So
The mail person that you're talking about, we have a mail person that we're just discussing as well. What does that person do?
Al does the mail for all of the county offices. That's everybody in this building, circuit court, I believe your offices, every county building, Al gets the mail to them and from them to the post office.
Okay, and the person that you're talking about wanting to hire would be doing what?
well, this will be working in the mail room in my office.
Once the mail come in and
Correct.
get to your office,
Correct.
they'll be opening it.
Yeah, opening it, processing the payments, doing that. Right now, they get opened and they pass them out between each clerk, all over the office, which isn't, I think it should stay in one space. It'd be a lot more efficient that way. You wouldn't lose checks, do whatever. So I think it.
They're losing a lot of checks?
No, but it's happened. It has happened.
Okay, I just want to understand the difference.
Sure,
the
sure.
responsibility.
That person then would be, not just doing mail.
No, other things as well.
They would be in there, documents that come by mail.
Correct.
Posting all those.
Yes, sir.
Into the computer. And making sure that, anything that needs to be mailed out will be mailed.
Or getting
Yeah.
into a little L.
Taxpayer.
Yes, sir. And look, there's 5 positions in there. That's an optimistic figure. I don't think I'll find 5 people that I want to hire in a year. I really don't, but I want them to be there in case we get there.
Positions to fill the newly acquired space, what kind of wait times right now? I assume this is just for Canton across the street where.
Yeah, I don't have any space in Madison for anybody.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is, what are your current wait times?
Right now, it's not bad, but tax season, that line will get all the way out to the front door. It can be 30, 40 minutes.
Need 2 full-time positions for a month?
2 or 3 months, yes.
Is that not something we could just have contractual people?
But there's other
That they'll be doing.
there's other processes and procedures that I'd like to put in place to make the office more efficient that we can utilize those people for other times of the year. That they're not just strictly sitting at a desk helping somebody renew their car tag or pay their property taxes.
Like, for instance?
Like working out-of-state titles. We get out-of-state titles that get mailed in from FedEx, and they have to be worked because the dealership's out-of-state, send them in, we work them, and then we call the taxpayer and they say, come in and get your tag. I mean, those take a week to 2 weeks now. If we could cut that down to we get them and they're processed the same day, that'd be great. Not only that, titles, processing titles, big trucks. We got somebody in our office now that does big trucks. If I could have a person that does that strictly, that would really make the office more efficient.
And there was a call center
Yes, sir.
employees. Kind of explain your.
Well, that's another optimistic position, but when we do get busy, the phones kind of fall to the wayside, and I get a lot of complaints about the phones getting answered.
Still right there.
Yeah, see, y'all get those complaints too. If I could have somebody that's strictly there, I'd train them on the front end, obviously, so they can process payments and do all that when they do get calls. But if I could have one person in each office strictly to answer phones, it'd be beneficial.
You have to have a person at each office. You can't get it where all your phone calls come to one location.
I'd like to do that. That's why I put call center, because I would like to have some space in the new building over here that I could have 2 or 3 people in an area that, yes, the phones would get forwarded to that location.
Question.
That's a good option.
When, I don't know what kind of phone calls you get and what kind of questions you have. Will the person that's answering at this call center, will they be able to resolve the people's questions?
Well, that's why I was saying I'd get them trained on the front end.
Or is it gonna be like, we got your call, but I can't do anything about it, and the person calling feels better because they know somebody got the call versus it just not going answered?
No, I mean, you got to train them on the front end so they can help you.
Well, I understand, but I mean, what kind of calls are you getting? Is this
Everything. I mean, are y'all open? All the way to, can you help me process my payment? I need to get my car tag renewed. They renew the car payment, stick a license plate in an envelope, mail it out. Everything from, is my title need to be renewed? Where's my title? Where's my plate? Everything. Tons of questions.
CJ, if you will, right quick, go over your ask on your employees. Tell us what you're asking, not what their responsibilities are, but just what you're asking for.
So
Your new employee.
the five positions I requested. So there was 2, I didn't even bring that piece of paper to be completely honest, because I didn't know Greg was going to submit it. But 2 clerks for Canton, because I've got 5 windows now. I think there's 10 or 11 over here. So I'd like to at least fill 2 of those. A mail room, because we are gaining the mail room there. Courier, as we said earlier, Al is doing everything. He's also picking up my deposits from Flora.
What we want to know is your positions. that you're
Gotcha.
asking.
Mail room, and then 2 call centers. 5 positions. Like I said, that's an optimistic number.
Okay, I got you. That just helps us clarify.
No, I understand.
Exactly what you're asking.
Absolutely.
for.
no problem.
All right. Are there other questions for tax collector?
That's your personnel, what you want, possible being new, clerks.
Correct.
And I see some promotions and some other little increases for.
You didn't put those in there, did you?
No, they are not included.
No.
They are just on the spreadsheet. They
Just
are
the CR1s, so those are classes that my staff took, and those are statutorily required increases.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Yes, sir. The other ones, no, but y'all handled that through the 5% and 3% anyway.
All right.
So that worked out.
On these classes,
Yes, sir.
how often, how many classes does a clerk go to? And different clerks.
Well, there's 3 classes, so it's 3 designations, CR1, CR2, and MCR. And so if they want to go, they can. They offer them once a year. Each one they offer once a year, and you got to have the one before it to get the next one. So they can take one annually. And they're statutorily required, you get a raise, $2,000 apiece, and then $2,500 for the last one.
Where they start, and after the third year, they've gotten, 6,500.
Correct.
Increase.
Yes, sir.
They don't go back anymore.
No, sir. That's it.
Training is always good.
It's great. They're great classes, very informative.
Because we want to get the right answer to the taxpayer when they call.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
All right. Other questions? CJ, thank you.
Thank y'all.
No, you have to. Thank you, sir.
Greg, are there anyone else? The sheriff, is he
I
made it in?
don't see them here. I can go ahead and handle Anita. She's out of town if you would like me to.
Please do. Circuit clerk.
That one ought to work. All right, this one should be relatively simple. Okay. Looking at the circuit clerk and circuit court, which I believe are page 21 and 22 of the books you have in front of you, there are 0 significant changes. Hey, thanks.
Best budget so far.
What was that, sir?
I say that's the best budget so far.
And she is getting a new office.
She is getting,
That may be a year before she gets in it.
she's getting a new office there, and she's got additional space in
Good.
Fred's with tons of shelves and stuff that have come in. It's gonna be a very nice space.
It's needed. It's needed.
So, she was out of town with her grandkids today, so she couldn't make it, but I told her I would
Okay.
do my best to fill in for her.
All right, the other two, we have 3 others. We have DA, tax assessor, and the sheriff, and I think that we are going into executive session today, from what I understand. So why don't we go ahead and go into executive session while the other 3 are coming?
Can we have a quick break?
We can, yes. Let's,
Make a
so,
motion for termination.
close termination by Supervisor Banks, I'll second. Discussion, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? And I'd like to go ahead and get a motion for executive session, and Mike, we're gonna go for personnel. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Supervisor Banks, second Supervisor Griffin. Discussion, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? And when,
Get him back up.
when the other 3 come, we'll ask them outside the executive session, probably about a 5-minute break. Guys, when we come back, we'll start out with the DA. When we come back on air, we'll start with the DA.
Right,
You
give me a
can go
second
ahead
before you
and,
come up. Hang on.
yeah, I'll call you up, but we'll start there with the DA.
And there is a copy of the memo from the DA.
Okay, thank you.
A copy of
We
what?
are out of executive session and,
Oh, okay. 'cause
Mr.
I
Lott?
can't find it.
Yes, during executive session related to personnel matters, Mr. Griffin made a motion, seconded by Mr. Banks, to demand reimbursement of 6 hours to the county treasurer and a 1-day suspension without pay. Motion passed 4-1. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lott. Okay, we're getting back to our budget hearings. I think we left off with the DA, District Attorney, so if you would, please come up.
Good morning.
books,
Yes, sir.
and you should have a copy of a page in front of you that looks like this.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
We do. Okay, Ashley?
Good morning. I want to introduce Hayden Livingston. I know you all knew Radonna Burns. She was with us forever. She retired, and Hayden has taken her place. So he is here to answer probably better than I can some of the intricate questions about budget. I believe, if I'm correct, the budget did not request any additions or increases except for personnel, and there was actually a decrease. Last year, if you'll recall, we asked for $20,000 allowance for furniture to replace the furniture that was ruined in the flood of our old office. That furniture has been replaced, or at least it's been ordered, so we do not need that request anymore. That was just a one-time request. We are asking, however, that the county pay for the $40,000 in salaries, salary supplements. I know that there's been discussion through the county of giving raises to county employees. However, DA's employees are statutorily set. Those are all set by statute. So in lieu of the COLA adjustments or the 5%, 3%, whatever has been discussed, I know by other agencies, we're asking for the county to fully cover all salaries of the following individuals, or the individuals that were on the memorandum that was submitted to you guys with our budget proposal.
All right, on the 40,000, where has that money been coming from prior?
It comes from our office. It is through funds that we receive through our pretrial diversion program and other programs. Unfortunately, those funds are not as readily available as they were in the past, and that's why we're asking for the county to help us cover the supplements that get those employees up to the statutory allotments allowed by the legislature.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking back in the past, I think when this was added, I think y'all came in front of us, said that we do have these funds and we will cover them.
And we will continue to that. We're just asking for the assistance of the county to help us cover those funds.
Yeah, I'm talking.
In lieu of the raises that have been discussed in other agencies. I know other agencies are asking for raises. Right. And we're just asking not for raises, except for John Chalk. We are asking for a raise for him to get him to the new statutory allotment that was allowed by the legislature.
Okay. Other questions from the board? All right. Ashley, that's it.
Thank y'all so much.
You bet. All right. Next, we have tax assessor.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
One handout might make it easier.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to funnel through these things.
Okay.
This is very similar to what Mr. Higginbotham prepared. I'm just going to focus on 480 through 920. And what I've put together here is a column for 2024 budgeted amount and then the 2025 requested amounts. And if there was any difference, that's in the third column. So everything from 480 to 544, well, to 543, there was no change. Maintenance contracts, we've got an increase of $7,195. That's just due to changes within the contracts that we currently have for the office. Dues and subscriptions, we had a slight change there of $500. Contractual services, $4,800. Again, that's related to the contract, some of the services that we use. Everything seems to be increasing these days. Office supplies, we need to add some money there, so we're requesting $5,000. $1,000 for other supplies and materials. We've got the decrease in the vehicle category. Y'all approved the purchase of 3 vehicles last year. That's really helped us get to where we need to be to prepare for the upcoming year to be able to hit the ground running. We certainly appreciate that. Machinery and equipment, we need some laptops and a few other things, so we're requesting $5,500 there. And I think the only other difference, which was a $48 difference, Greg zeroed the tags and inspections out, and that's still on my spreadsheet. I did not get that updated. But the end result there is a decrease of $81,005, and the categories 400 through 469 are all handled by comptroller and county administrator for salaries and benefits and everything. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. Okay. Questions? Yeah. All right. Thank you. Norm?
Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate y'all doing this. Have a good day.
Yes, sir. Next, we have the sheriff, which is the last one on the list, so.
Page 25.
Sheriff?
Didn't realize, thought I was last. I guess maybe I am last. Good morning.
What page did, Greg?
26. 27, 28. Okay, so.
Good morning. Thank y'all for having these hearings. Essentially, the baseline of the budget is pretty well the same as last year. If you take out the personnel element of it, the cost of goods and services, everybody is suffering that same hit. I mean, as you can see, the cost there reflective of the actual increase in cost of those goods and services, whether it be tires, gasoline, insurance costs, what have you. I mean, there's just no way around it. The price of it is the price of it. So we kind of are limited in what we can do there. Some items have gone up, some have gone down. We've combined a few line items that look like they reflect a bigger number, and then some of those line items have disappeared. So such as the maintenance contracts, which is our cameras and things of that nature that we've entered into that you guys got for us this past year. So the overall product portion of the budget is pretty well the same. Once you get to the personnel portion of the contract or the budget, I think you'll see that 097 is no longer. That was where the dispatchers were paid under a separate line item, came out of a different fund. I think those have been incorporated into the 001 budget and reflects that number. Of course, there's the overtime costs that we endure, but our biggest concern at this point, and I think that Greg has probably relayed to you guys, and I know he has provided you with some numbers. I wanted to talk to you briefly because it's been an issue recently for us, and it's going to be a really big issue for us in the next year or so, and that's the personnel issue that we're facing, and every department's facing it. And what we've kind of gotten into here, and Greg summarized it best, is a bidding war, and I don't know where it stops, how you end it. But if you want to have an effective department, I mean, you've got to have some skin in the game, so to put it. But I've reached out to several agencies around locally and from the coast and the northern part of the state. We've lost a few individuals to higher paying agencies. I mean, at the end of the day, we provide a take-home car. We got great insurance. You guys have done a great service in not having a deductible for us, and we've got some attractive things that have really helped us keep some folks. But at the end of the day, that paycheck matters to families and people raising families. And just to give you a little idea, I want to throw 3 or 4 numbers at you here. Highway Patrol, who we've lost 4 or 5 to over the last couple of years, is paying their starting troopers $54,000. Flowood Police Department's paying their, and this is advertised. I mean, this is not just word of mouth. This is their brochure. Starting out $55,000. South Haven, $56,762. Madison Police Department, currently paying $56,000. If you're not certified, they'll send you to the academy and get that done. But if you are a certified officer, it's based on years of experience, and that certified officer starts out at $57,500. I could go on and on here with Capitol Police and all these other agencies. But I want to tell you the lowest number that you haven't heard. Madison County Sheriff's Department pays $45,700. At one time, we were one of the top paying agencies. And you guys have helped me restructure that. And we are very competitive on the longevity end of our pay scale. Very competitive. Super duper happy with it. But as far as recruiting, obtaining new talent, those good young officers that are going to be our next level officers of the future, we're not very competitive. I'll just be honest with you. We're having trouble attracting, and when you know, if you got $2,000 or $3,000 difference in pay, there's some of those things that you offer, like a take-home car and the good insurance and things of that nature, that can kind of offset that and keep you close. But when you get up to $13,000, $14,000, $15,000, $16,000 difference, you're not close. We need some help on the bottom end of our pay scale, our starting pay. We've got some employees, and if you guys will consider this, we've got some employees some elderly employees that have reached that maximum that we are happy with and are competitive and aren't going to get a raise. We're talking about these younger guys, these new positions, these people that we're trying to retain and get brought in here, because I think everybody here would agree we've got a senior-laden department, and we've done that because we've got a good department. They're loyal. Y'all have been really good to them. But it's probably time we start considering the future and what's going to be left. A lot of these guys are, I'll just say it, heck, I'm one of them, old.
You done retired all the one that I worked down there with, all except Jeremy.
I didn't retire them; they retired on me, and I don't blame them. But we're going to be left with some tough decisions, and I'm not going to down any other department, but there's a lot of departments I don't want Madison County compared to when that shoe does fall. And if we're going to be competitive and have good quality officers moving into the future, this is something we really need to consider. And I think the plan that we've come up with is, according to the numbers across the state, from the coast to our north line, east and west, what we're asking for is, it's not the most, it's certainly competitive. And with those other benefits that we have, I think it makes us a lot more attractive. I'll be glad to answer anything that you guys have. And thank y'all for the gas station. Man, that thing's working out great now that we got the bugs worked out.
Yeah. Sheriff, we've heard it from other elected officials, other offices as well, as far as the increase that's needed in salaries. So this,
I know it's tough.
This doesn't come as a surprise. you know, for Madison County to be competitive, and we all want that to happen, make sure we stay there. So, I do see about $1 million difference.
There he is.
You know,
It's
and
roughly
so-
$1 million.
Right, to be competitive, or to be more competitive than what we are. So, and I think that's majority of the change of your budget.
That, to be honest with you, that is the change
Yeah,
in the budget.
right.
I think the base of the
Everything else
entire
is-
rest of the budget is probably about what it was
Right.
last year.
Yeah, so, are there questions for the sheriff?
Yeah, would that be increasing your road deputy and jail staff, Sheriff?
That increases every certified officer that we have, yes.
Certified,
Yes. You know, detention officers are required now to be certified, so they, while not considered an actual law enforcement deputy, they're a certified law enforcement detention officer, and they are maintained by the state on record with certifications just like a deputy.
Okay, so some of them, detention officer will be in this, okay,
Yes, they will.
all right. Where, it's kinda off the budget-wise, but where do the, detention officer go to get certified, and how long is it?
They go, well, they can drop in several different classes. Malota offers a class from time to time. Moorhead has classes. There are some in-house facilities that'll have a detention officer training class. I think Rankin County does one. Yazoo. There's several agencies that do that.
Okay.
And that's the first thing we do once they go through orientation with our department. We send them to get certified. So
Okay.
everybody we have is certified.
All right.
Well, I know the crime is low in Madison County, and that's the way we want to keep it. You know, and we appreciate you and the sheriff's department working in that direction.
Yeah.
I know money's always tight. I don't envy y'all having to make these decisions, but this is what I feel like it's gonna take, especially in the next 3, 4, 5 years. We're gonna be in a bind.
Right. Well,
With old folks.
that's
With old folks.
Yeah, all the old folks.
Well, law enforcement is, well, every agency is important.
Yeah.
Yes, sir,
But
they are.
law enforcement is very, very much
Right.
important. So, other questions for the sheriff? If not, thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.
All right, that's ends our budget. The next is old business, new business. Do I have a motion to adjourn to the August 5th? Got a motion, Supervisor Banks, I'll second. Discussion, all in favor, say aye. August 5th at 9 o'clock, that is.
And Mr. President, if you'll give me just a second, there is a public meeting this evening, 6 PM, Canton Multipurpose Center, in relation to the Bear Creek Watershed Project.
At 6 p.m.?
6 PM this evening, yes, sir.
Okay.
Just in case anybody's watching.
You'll be here right
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
Good.
Y'all are